Social media firms are warned to remove content promoting self-harm and suicide.
Then we can and we must legislate.
Claims harmful online content has the effect of grooming people to kill themselves.
What it is a compulsive behaviour which people do sort of subconsciously without even thinking about it.
In the UK, it's about a 95% take-up rate. So the internet's on about 97, 98% in the UK. There's still a few people that don't use it. Social media's way up in the 80s and 90s. Worldwide, it's over the 50% mark now.
Social media will have different effects on each adolescent, and the types of social media used can differ as well.
Social media has made us less social. Just from being aware of what's going on around me, that it has a massive impact on people's mental health. Mm-hmm. A lot of young people, they look on social media, they see people who live in these fantastic lives or having these fantastic clothes or jewelry or whatever it may be, and they aspire to that, and they think, oh, well, why isn't my life like that? And that can have a massive impact. People, especially young people, they live for the likes. They want that recognition that somebody has liked their post. And on the flip side, there's so much bullying that goes on social media that, there's been many cases where kids have taken their own lives because of internet trolling, and that's the dark side that is something you can't protect your kids from, because you don't know it's happening until it's happened.
The way I describe the social media epidemic is sort of the same way that I describe, I think it's happened in like the past 5 years, but kids are beginning onto the vape sticks, and everyone said, it's not that damaging, it's not as dangerous as smoking and the rest of it. And they negate to say that there's actual dangers that come with it, like popcorn lung and the rest of it. But they also don't talk about the fact that you're giving children this whilst they're developing, and getting them addicted to something whilst their brain is full of hormones. And I remember being a teenager, and it was a very volatile time as well. You have an argument, you go home, and that argument is still going on because you've now given people 24-hour access into your life.
On the reverse side, I think that there's a lot more openness about mental health now that social media has come into play, and a lot more people are talking about it than maybe they would have 20 years ago.
But with mental health, I do think, especially nowadays, in the last couple of years, mental health has really come to light, and that has been with help with social media. Whereas I think if you look back past 5 years ago, no one really ever talked about mental health, but now you see celebrities like Freddie Flintoff the other week coming out saying he had an eating disorder. So it's a good platform for people to support you and help you and sort of empathise and sympathise with you, but at the same time it is a platform that can be the opposite and attract people who have negative comments, negative things to say. But I think that's maybe just down to the user rather than the platform as a whole.
I've always had a little bit of reservations about saying a technology causes a direct relationship. I mean, mental health is a very interesting area, and for some people would say that social media has caused mental health. Other people, you'll find just as many people saying, without social media, I would have been lost. Without the connections that social media affords me, without being able to, because people use it to ameliorate the damage of living in a troublesome world. I'll give you a little example of this. So when I was a student 25 years ago now, 27 years ago, you went to college, you phoned your friends and family once a week from a call box. Okay, and if you were lonely at college, you were lonely. There was no things like that. Now you can be in touch with your parents, your friends and family. They can help you deal with things. So social media has been fantastic for people like that. Flip side, some people find it too attentive. So it accelerates and facilitates. And of course, too much social media is bad for you, but too much of anything is bad for you. So I don't think there's a simple correlation between too much social media and mental health, or social media and mental health, but it certainly helps us deal with it. The kind of world we live in now is a difficult world to live in.
So why do we use social media?
I think it's something to do.
That communication that you don't get from just like me sitting in my uni room alone.
It's a bit of a distraction.
Sort of like a positive feedback loop, you know, you post something, you get likes, you get that endorphin sort of kick.
Just to pass a bit of time, just to scroll through videos.
You can talk to your friends, keep up to date with family.
You know, I talk to like people from back home, I talk to people here, I talk to myself on the internet.
Like blocking out what's going on temporarily just to make yourself feel a little bit better sometimes.
Obviously catch up with my kids, see what they're doing.
Interacting with people is pretty nice, especially when you can't really see them a lot.
But I know that like social media is always there. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to get like shut down or anything.
I think everything on social media has to be taken with a grain of salt. And I think that as I've grown older, I've become like more fluent in social media. I understand now that it's not the be all and end all, and it's also not what it appears to be.
I don't know. I think maybe it would be better if people took the time to actually explore the things that made them uncomfortable and that they didn't want to see all the time. And I think I sort of really enjoy it when people sort of show the not great moments in their life on social media, and you know, try and make it a bit more real and everything. But I don't know, maybe it's just the fact that you don't get much better than just talking to someone.
And so I think it's really important as individuals that we need to be monitoring that ourselves and not get so egotistical in the fact that of thinking that we can do whatever we want, because that's not how life is it? Because when we go out in the real world, you can't be doing that.
People have to be a little bit more cautious of it, I think, and critically aware. But at the same time, we've got to be wary of blaming it, because it's an easy bogeyman to point at and say that's causing the trouble. We often blame social media for bigger social problems, but we also have to be a little bit cautious about our excessive use of it.